Welcome to Softcore History.
Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host for the week, Dan Regester, and I am joined, as always, by Rob Fox.
Hello. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Hi.
Long day?
No,
Long
actually
weekend?
Pretty easy day. Long weekend.
First Halloween weekend
ever for the
with
baby.
your child.
Yeah. He was a dinosaur. I was Dr. Grant, and my wife was Dr. Sattler.
That's Laura Dern?
Yeah, Laura Dern. I would have preferred to be the games warden guy, but I don't think I'm around.
You should have been Newman.
Yeah, you should have been Newman.
Newman? All right, that's a good one, too.
Your costume could have just been in a bathroom stall.
Yep.
You'd just be pooping.
That's not
the whole
Newman. Newman didn't get killed in the bathroom stall. Newman got killed in the Jeep.
Right. And
Oh, you're right. You're
Your
right.
lawyer
your
got killed in
baby
the
could have
bathroom
been the
stall.
dinosaur that
The
spreads out.
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
God, have you ever seen the movie, even?
Do I don't
It's been a
remember
long
the
time
name,
since I've seen Jurassic Park.
It's been a minute.
That's a Dilophosaurus.
You know what? Weirdly, I've seen Jurassic Park 3 the most of all of them. Because
That's upsetting.
the
and
Raptor
awful.
movie?
So was that just means you were hungover a lot and TNT was on
No. It
like
was,
10 years ago?
I think it's like one of the first movies we got on Blu-ray when I was in Philly.
Sick.
Good Lord.
So when was that, like 2017?
That is
No.
That is the
This
most.
was like fucking 2010, right?
Your mom buy you Christmas presents
2009.
at Wawa?
You
that
don't.
where
No,
you-
it's not. It's not like Buc-ee's. You don't really buy gifts at Wawa.
Well,
Wawa's
most
great.
people don't.
Wawa's great for booze. Now
They have
It's-
a little DVD rack though,
in
don't they?
Pennsylvania. They don't.
No?
It's sandwiches. It's free ATMs, and it's.
Can you
booze.
buy booze at Wawa?
You can in every state, and now you can in Pennsylvania, I guess.
Wow.
But for a while,
Wow.
obviously Pennsylvania had beer distributors and alcohol.
Dude,
or
box
liquor
stores? I know.
distributors.
Box stores are dog shit. Those guys knew they had a corner on the market, and they would just let their store go to crap. We were in Bucks County for a fucking wedding, and I walked into a
God.
package store, and it was mostly empty boxes.
I wanted to commit a murder buying booze in Pennsylvania.
What was hilarious to
Was
me
it
is
a
like,
Sunday?
no.
It was a weekend.
It was like Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yeah.
Fucking blue loss.
We had to for their fucking rehearsal dinner. They had to supply their own liquor.
Yeah.
That other voice, of course, that you're hearing right now, too, is Jake Goldman. I'll give you a little intro.
Hey, thanks, man. And
Say
I
your
will
actual
continue on that. What's crazy is that's to curb the consumption, I guess, or like there's some reason for it.
It was at a restaurant. It was
Yeah, I know.
at a restaurant, and they had to provide their own stuff.
No, but the thing that I found hilarious was the law here is you can't buy alcohol from a bar
Well, now
and
you
walk
can.
out with it.
Now you can.
Can you walk in and be like, I want a bottle of Tito's.
Yeah.
Don't take the cap off.
Oh, I don't know. Well, I just don't know if a restaurant would sell you the whole thing.
I'm saying we at our hotel bar
Yeah.
that everyone conveniently partied at all night, which was actually pretty
That
hilarious.
was convenient, even though it was a dog shit hotel bar.
Oh, that place popped off though.
It did at night. It was like the only bar in
Dude,
town.
okay. For listeners, I'm sorry, Rob and I are about to go into
Yeah,
this, but
stop going on
No,
tangent that
it's
nobody
actually
gets.
really funny. The wedding that came back right after ours came back went very poorly. There was like about to be a fist fight. Like everyone got off the bus crying.
Yeah, it
Like
was
I think the
rad.
wedding ended before the people got
So
married.
both of these weddings were just outside of Philly. You can guess which wedding was from Philly.
Was one a cash bar? Is it the people that were crying was a cash bar?
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
One was at a estate, and one was probably down the road at the Shoney's. Yeah, because there was literally about to be a fist fight, and like everyone just drank their sorrows away at the hotel bar. crying.
Pennsylvania doesn't, because of its geographic location, does not get nearly enough credit as a shitty redneck state full of backwards
What are you
people.
talking about? People call it Pennsyltucky all the time.
Yeah,
Only people from the region. Like if you asked someone from Texas to be like, Pennsylvania, yeah, Philadelphia, I don't know, it's like it's up there. Like it doesn't get. You hear Kentucky, Missouri. First off, your nickname is based on another state. Okay, so that already it says that Pennsylvania doesn't get enough credit. But you hear like Pennsylvania
That's fair.
or Missouri or even fucking like Texas or Oklahoma, and you think, or Mississippi, you think way more backwards than Pennsylvania. But Pennsylvania is a backwards ass state.
okay, hold on.
I am
we need to,
regarded, like, very often, they call me Delco trash. What are you talking about?
yeah, that's fair too. I think it gets just enough bad rap because I don't know. I've known enough people that know of the good and bad of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Because there's also let's be fair, Kentucky doesn't have any metropolitan area
Yeah, you
that
don't
holds a
have to-
candle to normal
There's-
cities.
There are two states comparable to Pennsylvania, in my opinion. Not in size, but in their makeup.
of demo.
Yeah, and it is Tennessee and Missouri. 2 states with a ton of rural areas, but 2 major metro areas.
I'd say Ohio would be more accurate.
Ohio too. That's that's another good one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Ohio, Columbus is really big too. Ohio kind of has 3.
Kentucky's major metropolitan city is Cincinnati.
Right, so it's not
Yeah.
even in the.
No.
That's how
It's Hebron.
Kansas's major metropolitan area is Kansas City, Missouri. So just to give you
Overland Park.
that is Kansas City.
That's a
suburb of KC Mo.
But it's in Kansas.
It's in Kansas.
Yeah, great.
That's-
Kentucky has nice Cincinnati suburbs. I think.
It also has the airport.
Yeah.
It has the Cincinnati airport
so
in
fucking
Kentucky.
funny.
Yeah. Anyway, states weird.
States are weird.
Yeah, hate
States
them.
are weird.
I hate them all. We should have no states.
But Philly also doesn't get enough love for like how nice it is. Like
Philly
the actual
actually-
city.
Oh my God, dude! Was it Chestnut Park?
Center City is
Center
really
City.
nice. But most people
Around Penn was nice. I
people
like
that live in Center City aren't actually from Pennsylvania. They're like transplants.
It's best of both worlds. You get all the East Coast brick, none of the East Coast
You
trash.
get the history with no one that's from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want on the East Coast.
Right.
That's fair. What'd you guys do this weekend for Halloween?
I went
You had a
to
great costume.
I went to a house party. My old neighbor's house party is awesome. Did you see the picture?
I haven't seen any of your photos now.
We don't really post shit anymore. But yeah, I wore a cardboard box to
Are
a
you
house
ashamed
party.
of your body?
That's what it is.
Okay.
No, we don't take
Just going
pictures.
through, yeah. I mean, it's okay. I get it. Body dysmorphia, it affects us all.
Anyway,
He is ashamed of his body. That's not why he doesn't post pictures.
Okay.
It's honestly, it is ironic though. It is that same laziness of not posting pictures that feeds to his poor body that feeds his body dysmorphia.
yeah,
So we're really all-
you're explaining body dysmorphia to us. Are you really mansplaining body dysmorphia to me?
Yes.
Cool. Thanks.
Vicious cycle.
It's a fun one though, because then the just unrelenting 100% or nothing like curb back to cutting's gonna kick in soon, and I'm gonna be a pain in the ass to deal with.
It is the fall though, so you can put on those extra
I
pounds.
was actually thinking about that. I was like, why would I try to cut right
Everyone's
now?
bulking.
It's sweater weather, bro.
Yeah.
I got a dope top coat. You've seen that thing. That's gonna cover up all them curves.
Yeah, we're gonna invite you over for Christmas Eve and just have carbsmas.
I would love that. Because of my bread. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a bread turkey.
Yes.
for you.
Yeah, that's the-
Have you seen those?
Yeah,
They're so ridiculous, dude.
Stuff. Make it a bread actually turducken. It's just
It's a little bread duck inside of a little bread chicken
Yes.
inside of a little bread turkey.
Yes, that's what I would like. A bread turducken.
I did want to give a shout out to a listener, Danielle Morrow.
What a segue.
Thanks, Danielle.
You two shut the fuck up.
We're just real chatty over here on the
Yeah, yeah.
sides.
Well, we were talking about Halloween, and
Yeah.
she and the kids went this year to Halloween. I don't know where they went, party, maybe trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
As characters from some of the episodes we've done here in Softcore history.
Yeah, it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. She didn't tag her kids, and I'm a little annoyed at that because you should always use your children for content.
Right. But she went as Alexander Solonik,
the sniper,
hitman
the
in
ninja
Russia.
sniper. Yeah. Her kids went as Topsy and Mike Malloy.
Malloy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, I have some questions about that because how old are the kids that are listening to this? I love that she
They're
listens to
both
this.
like tween.
Okay, they're like high school
I was
age,
watching
right?
South Park in 6th grade.
I was
that's
gonna
fair.
say, I'm like now I'm a little conscious. Like, how many times do I curse?
What
Should I
lies do I
stop, like-
what lies do I tell to fake that I believe these things?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but no.
Should I stop
People,
pulling punches?
in general, comedy-wise, people do not give kids enough credit for like how, or not even comedy-wise, just art-wise in general. Like, dude, like my friends were watching like Aliens when we were like in 4th, 5th grade. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
It's very like you don't have to be that old to really appreciate like adult shit.
No, that's true. And it's honestly kind of condescending too, especially if you're like in that late middle high school age.
Yeah.
Like you get most everything.
The funniest fucking thing was when people would like try to like kind of backhanded compliment me or like shame me a little bit when I was writing for TFM, where they'd be like, how do you feel about like it's mostly like high school and like fucking college freshmen that read your shit, and like that sounds tight, sounds fucking awesome.
How many people read your stuff?
Yeah.
We grew up in the generation that like was on E-Bombs World every day.
Yeah. I don't care. Like, oh no, I'm making an 8th grader
And
laugh.
Rotten.
Live Leak.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. All the terrorist videos on Live Leak were just, you can't unsee some of those, man. No. As a kid. I will say though, Danielle, thank you so much for listening to the show, getting your
shout
kids
out
involved
on Instagram too.
Yeah.
The shout out on Instagram, that makes us feel really good.
She's like a kind of, she's like a micro influencer.
I think she has more Instagram followers than
we
both
do.
of you.
Yeah. Well, both Rob getting his in. But anyway, Danielle, I hit you up on IG. Let us know your deets. We'll send you some free shirts.
Free merch, which good little segue. We do have merch on softcorehistory.com.
Let her choose between shirts and hats. If maybe one of the kids wants a hat.
Yeah. No,
I'll
for sure.
tie on the
Just
hat.
pick 3 pieces of merch. One
good
for each of
hats.
you.
Whatever y'all want,
Yeah.
just pick the stuff you
Maybe
want.
she wants a tank top. She looks like she works out.
Sure, whatever you want. Rob's trying to curate a box for you. I'm just like, tell me what you want. We'll send it.
Softcore box.
Yeah. Trust me, I don't want to get into that.
Go to softcorebox.com.
Don't go there.
Don't Google that.
Go to softcorehistory.com. Obviously, buy some merch, support the show, and yeah, let's just get into it this week.
Let's talk some history.
Let's talk some history.
I hear you have a psycho for us.
Yeah, so obviously Halloween Horror Month has come and gone. So go ahead if you want to go re-listen to those episodes. If you want to listen to those next year, I don't care.
Yeah. Now it's Thankful Month, and we're doing all history figures that we're thankful for.
No,
I was about to say, history is just a long, constant stream of conscious horror that it doesn't really need Halloween to be horrifying either.
that's fair. But I think we need to go back to the foundation of which this podcast was built. A shallow dive into one of history's most entertaining nutcases who walked the planet about 200 years ago, because that's kind of my wheelhouse.
Yes.
That's kind of all our wheelhouses at this point.
Well, you like to go a little bit more ancient
I
history.
like to hop around, but I haven't been doing that recently.
I'm more of a recent, did that really happen guy.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of fun,
Yeah, you were trying to do like a Halloween Horror Month story from like 2012, weren't you?
It was really good.
Shut that down.
No, the guy wrote a novel about a murder he did and then was going to write a sequel, and he was planning another murder.
And in 9 years, you can do it.
Yep. Cool. All right. If we're doing that, if I'm alive, yeah, I'll do that one.
Well, today we are adding poet, world traveler, sex symbol, exotic pet owner, low-end English royalty, and Greek revolutionary, Lord Brian.
Lord what? Brian? Mm-hmm. Brian?
Lord Byron.
Lord Byron.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
A.K.A. George Gordon Byron, to the list of Danny Regg's Audio Museum of Misfits.
We're going to have to supercut all these episodes one day.
I got to say, don't believe he was a poet. I believe he wrote poetry and added that to his resume.
That was his day job.
Yeah.
I did say Brian first because I had a little...
Lord Brian.
I had a little...
Brian?
I was actually pretty stunned that you mispronounced the word right there that you've been pronouncing correctly all afternoon. We're doing Lord Byron today. We're doing
Well, whatever I type, I read, so I did have a little...
He only reads
mishap.
on the teleprompter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking Ron Burgundy over here.
George Gordon Byron. He is best known in the literary world for Don Juan and Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, but we're not using this episode to talk about his work. That's not what made him interesting at all.
The same way if we did a David Bowie episode, we wouldn't be talking about Starman or whatever.
No, we'd be talking about his diet.
His diet
And his
teen girls.
his penchant for underage women.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could say this man was perhaps the original David Bowie
Yeah.
in that context.
Could you? 200 years. I feel like that penchant goes back way further than 200 years, but go ahead.
Jake was also saying earlier before the show that like 11 in 1800 is like 22 now.
He did.
I
say
never
that,
said
yeah.
that.
Like
I deny it firmly.
I mean, it's on film. I could insert it.
Yeah,
We were rolling.
I can't wait for the cut of me. If you guys isolating 11 is the new.
Yeah.
22 1800s, like that bullshit. You would do that to me. I know you would.
Yeah.
All right, so-
we have deep fake technology here.
Yeah. I'm clearly that advanced with the
It's
technology.
actually just a Jake cartoon with me
Hey,
with
guys!
me doing the voice.
And I'm just Dan just draws me a giant circle.
Yeah.
Because he wants me to feel more body dysmorphic. Yeah. This
Too many
actually
carbs, man.
This tracks. We should make
Yeah.
this.
So just a
born
loaf of ciabatta.
January 22nd, 1788, in jolly old London, England, with a deformed foot. He was the son of Captain John Mad Jack Byron.
Mad Jack's a good nickname.
Yes. And Catherine Gordon, the heiress to a moderately sized estate in Aberdeenshire, Scotland.
It's the most Scottish name I've ever heard. Yeah. Aberdeenshire.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
It's too many syllables. Come on, let's limit these syllables.
They were kind of asking for being taken over by the Brits with that kind of talk, you know? Aberdeenshire? No, it's going to be Sussex now.
Too much.
Just Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Too much.
Man.
Well, a lot of times, I don't know what the situation with that was, but when you see like in the UK, they'll be like Little Windsing or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That was essentially a new town started by people from the old town, and it was smaller, and they just wanted to expand, but it was too far away. It was like a day's walk away.
Yeah.
So that was little of whatever the town they came from. Now it's just a fucking suburb. That's a fucking 5-minute drive.
Yeah. So this was Mad Jack's second marriage, and he used her as a blank checkbook to fund his expeditions, gallivanting around Europe, banging everything in sight, and not really ever being around for his wife or his son, George.
Whoa, that's crazy for a man nicknamed Prudent Jack. Oh, wait, his nickname was Mad Jack. So
He was a pirate, right? Yeah.
He was not a pirate.
Yeah.
Sure. He
But,
was.
You know, he did some time in the Royal Navy. So, yeah, they were essentially
pirates, yeah.
Kind of setting up the stage for our boy Georgie, who, you know, this was kind of a path that he followed himself. And we'll get to that.
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. Little boy blue and the man on the moon.
Raping and pillaging the Royal Navy. When you coming home, Dad?
So Mad Jack wanted to name his son William, but since he missed the birth of his son, Catherine decided to just name the boy after her old man, George.
That happens.
So-
That happens.
My
You can change that. You can change that now.
Yeah, my dad did that. So my mom, when she passed out,
Yeah.
after giving birth to me, they just asked my dad, like, "Oh, what do you want to name the kid?" And my name was going to be IJ. Like my mom and dad agreed on IJ, Ian James.
Okay.
And
they're going to call you IJ? That's awful.
It's awful.
That's
yeah,
really
I
bad.
thank my dad to this day for what he did for me. But yeah, when my mom was kind of like out, and they asked for the birth certificate, the name on the birth certificate, he's like, "Oh, just name that fucking little sucker Dan."
Yeah. And by the way, you don't, like, the baby doesn't come out and they, like, put something in your face like they're a reporter. Like, what's the name? Gotta tell me what the name is right now. Like, you get it, like, hours later. No, a day later. I filled it out, like, a day and a half later, I think. Or maybe a day later. It is not right away.
But
everyone's of their right mind.
He was smart. He gave me my mother's maiden name as my middle name, so it was a little compromise that he could see.
Both of you have last names as middle names.
I do.
So I'm Daniel Murphy.
Yeah.
Jacob Wheeler.
Yeah, that's not how names
You
work.
named your fucking
is a-
dog after your
idiots.
middle name.
I did. Everyone knows this now.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm a
that, but
narcissist.
It's weird.
Well,
Sorry,
it's
I
not.
named my son after me.
Yeah, Rob is a long line of people that name their kids after them.
Yeah.
I named my dog. That's not that weird.
Name him after a professional athlete, like a normal person.
Oh, Chase? Yeah, okay.
Chase Muttley.
Chase Muttley is a good name.
It's a great name.
Objectively,
One of
it
the
is
best
a good
names.
It's a good one.
It's very
It
good.
is
No
good.
one's saying your dog is a bad name.
Chase was like one of the only dudes that didn't hate from that Phillies teams.
He did get a bad rap when he slid into second base that one time. It was like a dirty slide.
Yeah.
With the Dodgers, though. But he was not with the Phillies anymore. So
And
not
Chase
my problem.
Muttley got a bad name when he started sliding his dick into your couch cushions.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
To this day, he still does that.
So Catherine and George moved back to Aberdeenshire, where he spent the majority of his childhood without his old man, who was bleeding the estate dry with his debts. He kept pulling out loans on his wife's dime and eventually died on one of his trips in France.
Man, it had to be so easy to take out loans back then.
In your wife's name?
in your own name,
Yeah.
even. Like, yeah, I'm Lord whatever.
But putting it against her estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a house. It's fine. Go, especially, like, what year is this?
This is 1791 at this point.
Okay, and he's in Europe taking out loans?
They barely have
In
paper.
France, so in
In France,
1791.
in the
yes.
country they're at war with every 10 years. Like, France is going to be able to come, any bank in France is going to be able to come collect on a loan in the UK. You just wait for the next war.
Yeah.
You just take out a loan in France, wait for a war. The debt's probably wiped out.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, if it's just avoid the international banks, right? Where there's like branches in the UK.
Yeah, you don't want those Rothschilds
Yeah.
getting you. But yeah,
I didn't want to say it, but Rothschild.
Rothschild.
Yeah. Which is apparently just like code speak for anti-Semitism, which actually it is because crazy people are just like the Rothschilds.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty commonly thrown around conspiracy theory that one family
It
owns
might be
everything.
the most commonly one.
Yeah.
Commonly thrown around one.
But yeah, Mad Jack dies in 1791, allegedly cutting his own throat in France when George was 3.
Again, he's not Prudent John.
What?
He's Mad Jack.
He cut his own throat? Mm-hmm. Will he get in a fight with himself? Or is he
know.
just sad?
Well,
Feels like maybe a bank cut his throat.
maybe
Yeah.
an internal fight with himself, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think when you're just gallivanting a lot, your pleasure centers kind of go away, and it's like, let's die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah.
All you have
ultimate
left is
release.
I'm going to pillage heaven.
all you have
Or
left
hell.
is that DMT hit sitting in your brain.
He knew.
Yeah.
When his uncle died at 10, he inherited land in Newstead Abbey and became a low-end baron. But since they were in such deep waters from his now dead dad, she rented it out to pay debt collectors. So, she's a landlord.
It's just Royal Airbnb.
Yeah.
Airbnb Baron.
Yeah, that's the thing at the time. Like I say this all the time, but that's like a thing in like I think Jane Austen novels. I don't know. I've never read a novel,
Just
but I've seen some
renting
of the
out
movies.
castles?
No, it's just that like a bunch of like not royal, but like noble families who like went broke, maybe a generation or two ago, but they still have the land,
Yeah.
or whatever, and they're like just they still have the titles, but they're just like embarrassed and poor.
They have a certain level of life that they have to live up to, right? Like certain kind of expectation to live up to. They don't want to be poor. They don't want to act poor.
Well, right, and also
Dig yourself deeper into debt.
Well, it's a
putting up
conflicting.
this persona.
It's a conflicting thing too because they don't want to work either because
Yes.
that makes them. It's
Yeah,
a really weird spot to actually be in because like the further you go down the royalty line and like the lordship, whatever you want to call
Nobility.
it, the nobility, right? The further you go down it, like the people up top are getting their money, they're getting theirs, they're getting their tax fucking
Right.
shit and stuff like that. But it really is trickle down, if you will, and then it's like. These people aren't really getting that much, but they want to live like royals. They have to put on the show and the dance and stuff like that. And then they run out of money, but they can't just go to work because then it's like, why are you working? You're royal. That's unbecoming of you.
Yeah.
So it's actually a very weird spot to be in. So it actually makes a lot
Like
of
you're
sense.
broke, but you can't work.
Yeah.
Because if you work, you're poor.
Right.
Even though
You're not
getting-
noble.
You're not getting invited to parties if you start working.
Right.
It's like, how's your job at the typeface fitter? Like,
Yeah.
what? Are you going to go do? What are you doing? 1791, I'm guessing like Johann Gutenberg's got a printing press built by then.
You're
So
like, nice tan, you fucking poor. In the fields today, idiot.
don't nick yourself. You might bleed out.
God, you would be.
A god? Yes, I know. I'm aware. I was born at the wrong time. The pale king in the wrong age.
So his mom turned to the bottle during his childhood and became an alcoholic, but she still put George above everything else, spoiling the kid no matter what the cost.
Always worth noting when someone's called an alcoholic in any era prior to
now.
They have a real problem. yes.
it's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
She was rewarded with this, with George routinely ripping on her for being fat and a drunk.
Burn.
She's doing everything she can to like just live up or just make sure Georgie's taken care of.
So
Yeah.
George is Cartman.
Yeah.
Young George is Cartman.
It seems that way, yes.
Yes.
So George would also get into confrontations and physical altercations in school over kids making fun of his club foot.
Okay.
The foot made him don an orthopedic boot, which
Helpful in school.
currently is on display at the Science Museum in London.
So we can roast them throughout time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna have on display in the Science Museum in London? Fucking nothing.
Just a little boot.
Yeah. Well, no, his classmates, his normie classmates.
Right.
That's his get back. Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine
Although,
getting
is it-
your ass beat by a guy with a club foot.
Yeah. The Elephant Man's skull is somewhere. I don't think the Elephant Man was like, it'll be all right. I'm a monster now, but people will look at my skull forever.
Yeah, that's one thing I definitely don't want to happen. It's like,
Yeah.
what are you most remembered for? My skull's in a freak museum. Like, it's in my skeletons in Ripley's, believe it or not.
Laugh at me. Have you ever seen the Elephant Man movie with the young Anthony Hopkins?
Oh, no, I
You
haven't.
gotta at least be in the good Ripley's, believe it or not. You can't be in the one in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
No.
Got to be in the Orlando one.
Yeah.
Or like St.
Drive. Yeah.
Yeah. I always think the Elephant Man is Mask. I always get those movies confused. Have you seen Mask?
Yeah, I've seen Mask.
That's,
Come on, I've seen Mask. Everybody's seen Mask.
This is hot. He puts like a hot rock, or
Yeah.
this is red. Puts a hot rock
That's
in
the
her
little
hand.
green gooey guy, right? No, it's Flubber.
One of the
That's
one of
the Mask.
No, it's Flubber.
One of the better
yes, that's
Family Guy cutaways of all time was a Mask joke, where remember the scene where she like feels his face or whatever, and he's like, "You're beautiful," and then she feels his face, and she's like, "Oh my God!" And he's like, "But you said I was beautiful too." She's like, "I know, Rocky, but there's a limit." Laura Dern, 2 Laura Dern references in one show.
Cher is also in that movie.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Love Cher.
All right, so this caused him to bounce in and out of different schools, causing his education to lack some pretty fundamental things. Plus, he just wanted to play sports, get down with some female companions, and have an overall good time.
So he was a bro.
Yeah.
That means he pulls.
Dude couldn't stay in school because he was fighting, wanted to fuck, play some fucking sports.
Played cricket, boxed. Despite a pretty subpar student, George got into college because he is technically a noble and cash rules everything around me.
Dream. Cream.
There's no applications to college. There's no affirmative action or even like normal, even like just a normal application process to a college in 1800.
Do you know what college you went to? Was it Oxford?
Trinity.
Wow. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel then.
There's no like, wow, he went
Trinity.
to college. You just pay. You're just like, I'm rich. I'm a noble. You go to college. It's not like he had to compete with anyone.
Either way, he went to Trinity College in Cambridge for 3 years, where he boxed, was in the horse riding club, in a few gambling rings, had hundreds of sexual escapades, and owned a pet bear.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's right. Since the school denied Lord Brian from...
Byron, what? What?
He wrote Brian that time.
Dude, spell check's really fucking me.
Actually, this came up in the Odd Pets episode I did. You remember that one where I was
Yeah.
going through people with weird animals?
It was Lord Byron.
Lord Byron was in that, yeah.
Okay, so-
Because he couldn't switch roommates or something like that?
No. So Lord Byron wanted to bring his dog Boatswan,
That's right.
but since there was a no...
Botswain.
No, it's Boatswan.
B-O-A-T.
Boatswain.
Boatswain.
I think it's Boatswain, yeah.
It's a boatswain.
All right, well.
Sure. It
What's a
doesn't matter.
boatswain to a
You let him
boatswan?
talk.
Yeah.
Let him read.
Get in my head now.
Yeah.
But,
Let him
they
try
had
to
a
read.
no canine policy in the dorms, so our man found a loophole and purchased and housed a tamed black bear that he
We
would
talked
walk
about
around on a chain.
On your episode, no such thing.
Tame bear?
Yeah.
Black bears are the most docile.
Yeah, no, they are.
They are the biggest pussies as far as bears go.
They're also very trainable. You ever see a Russian circus?
I've seen a lot of Russian circus maulings.
Never one. They get on that little motorcycle and jump through hoops of fire.
Yeah, they nail their feet to the unicycle, and that's it.
That is how you tame a bear. You nail down its feet.
It's really easy to figure out where it is if it's stuck there.
Yeah.
So since there were no rules explicitly
Prohibiting bears.
prohibiting bears at Trinity College, he argues that
This is why, by the way, in like when you see things in like a student handbook, there's just like other at the end, or any other.
Weird things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just because somehow people would take seriously. Well, you didn't say no bears, and then everyone's like, "Fuck."
That's literally what the Supreme Court does.
Well, that's what he just
it's like,
did.
you didn't say this.
Yeah.
and it's thanks to Lord Byron
Yeah.
because he had every legal right to have that bear, and they reluctantly agreed. After winning this ruling, however, he then put in an application for the bear to become a student. That was eventually denied, but this was more of a troll move and him spiking the football on school officials.
Yeah, that's definitely like he got his way, then he just wanted to rub it in their face.
Mm-hmm. Throughout his life, he owned dogs, cats, monkeys, foxes, eagles, falcons, peacocks, an Egyptian crane, a honey badger, a goat with a broken leg, crocodiles, and geese.
Did he name the goat with a broken leg after himself because of the whole clubfoot thing?
Probably.
Yeah, that's got to be like a little, like, I
A little
got you,
homage
bro.
to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
His eating habits were also all over the map. He tried every fad diet, going from drinking glasses of sour vinegar and chewing gum made from pine sap to eating plates of only mashed potatoes and binging one day and starving the next. So he was just kind of all about that intermittent fasting.
Yeah, it's intermittent fasting. That's all that
Back in the
is.
day.
Yeah.
He would purge himself too and put himself through violent exercises. With his deformed foot, he would often get injured during said physical activities, and he was constantly struggling with his weight, yo-yoing anywhere between 130 pounds and 200 pounds.
Holy shit. That's a lot.
Talk about body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
And by the way, I would bet the average male weight for that time period was probably like 130 to 140 pounds.
Yeah.
200 now is borderline average for an American male.
But he was regarded as a very handsome gentleman for his time. That's why he was able to pull so much ass.
He's also noble.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going to go more on the noble.
Hey, how you know the whole fish tank trick? You want to go see my bear?
Yeah.
That probably worked a lot too.
Yeah. I got a bear in my room.
I got a bear in my room. You want to check it out? 6 foot tall, fucking killer.
Byron racked up numerous debts as a young man following in his father's footsteps, owing to what his mother termed a reckless disregard for money.
Cats in the kettle in the sun.
Yeah.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, obviously. One of these reckless disregards for money is what he dubbed the Grand Tour, where he essentially just ate, drank, and fucked his way around the Mediterranean from 1809 to 1811.
What? Oh, okay, so 2 things about that. That's impressive.
Yeah.
One, there's a world war.
I was about to say, yeah. There's a lot going on during that time.
1809?
Prime Napoleon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's in the Mediterranean, though. That he's avoiding that.
Is he?
He's going to like Greece and shit.
Yeah, I guess that is avoiding it to an extent.
It's being like adjacent to it.
Still got, yeah, very adjacent to it. Still got to deal with the navies and stuff. I mean, it's more of a Northern and Europe war and Iberian war at that point than like in Greece or anything. But like, there's no, I mean, the navies are everywhere.
Right, but they made note that in order to avoid Napoleon's wars,
Yeah.
he went to the Mediterranean. He didn't want to fuck around and like.
Yeah. Italy though is embroiled in that. So yeah, Greece makes sense, I guess. But that's funny.
I mean, yeah. Also, no one like that might be the ultimate white privilege move I've ever heard. It's like, I know there's a world war going on, there's navies, but like
Right.
if I just go, like, I'll sail around them. It's cool.
You got to think there are a couple like American families who went on vacation in the Caribbean in the early 40s. They're like, oh, we just need to get away from the war for a week or two.
Yeah, just don't go to Cuba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, Cuba was fine then.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's right. That wasn't until the 50s, was
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay.
Also, part of the reason he went on this little journey was to flee creditors as well as a former love interest. She was just kind of like.
He was ghosting the ex on the Mediterranean.
Yeah, she was
Nice.
a little too much. She was a little too clingy. And he's like, I gotta go to Greece, baby.
So it's like, man, I'm in debt and this chick is trying to chase me. I better go just like fuck my way through the Peloponnesian Peninsula.
That's the college tale as old as time. It's like, my bar tab's kind of coming due. Like, I'm starting to, this chick's getting a little clingy. I'm going on spring break.
Panama City, baby.
I'm going to Panama City where everything's $1.
Woo! Easier
Yeah.
said than done when you go to school in Florida.
Yes. During this trip, he actually got romantically involved with Ottoman Albania ruler Ali Pasha.
I was going to say, what is the Ottoman party situation like? Because that whole area is under Ottoman control in that time period, I think, right?
Well, for Albania, he was the ruler of Albania, and he's very like authoritarian, pretty harsh with everything. But he had a little summer fling with this guy.
With a guy.
Yeah,
Nice.
the ruler of Albania.
So he just did whatever.
So if you actually search Lord Byron's name in Google, there's going to be that painting that comes up, and this ruler had this painting done for our boy because I guess he was just laying pipe that good.
Oh. Was he laying it? Or was he getting it? And just like...
Could be either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was taking it that good. You don't know.
That's true.
This photo right here.
Yes.
Oh, that is a very flamboyant painting.
Very Ottoman Empire painting.
Here for all of
Yes.
you at home. Yeah. it
Pretty
is-
hot, not going to lie.
Yeah. He's got that Salvador Dali mustache going. Some sort of headdress.
So they were just getting it.
Yep. And
Definitely a rule. Meanwhile, there's like 8 4 gay people a day getting their heads cut off or something, probably.
By the same guy, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Muslim, so he's probably closeted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Well, what happens in the palace stays.
Yeah. I mean, look at, all of Saudi Arabia.
Right.
All the things that people that live there can't do, but,
Right.
royalty can.
He eventually got bored and bounced. The trip was also the inspiration.
When you can fuck anything in the world, anywhere in the world, at any time in the world.
What's a Albanian king?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only so much.
So this trip also inspired Childe Harold's pilgrimage, which was like kind of what put him on the map. All he essentially did was recant a bunch of stories from his trip and replaced his name with Harold.
So he did what a writer does.
Yeah.
So this narrative poem, which was released in 1812, made him a rock star in England almost overnight.
Sick.
Must have been juicy. It must have been mad juicy.
I didn't actually read it, so
I'm just saying it must have been.
must have been.
Like, come on. A book got mad play, rock star status in England at that time.
He was like fucking Shakespeare.
He was probably fucking someone named Shakespeare, and he put it in
That's
the
fair.
book. Yeah.
So he is regarded as one of the first like modern celebrities,
really?
I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Byron also had a fascination for the supernatural. So that place he inherited, Newstead Abbey, the place they were renting out, obviously he eventually became of age and he took over that property. Became one of his favorite venues for his entourage, as it was allegedly incredibly haunted.
Of course it was haunted. Everything's haunted.
What was that?
Something dinging?
Something just dinged.
Something dinged
Something
outside.
dinging
That's
outside.
weird.
Huh.
Probably an
Strange.
ice cream truck.
That's very immersive for the people at home listening.
Are we haunted?
Yeah, as we said, haunted.
Yeah. Also, first off, everything in England's haunted as fuck, so.
Everything is haunted.
That's true.
Yeah,
Everything.
Everything.
His gothic flamboyance perpetuated this sense of the spooky. A coffin stood at one end of the dining room, which Byron had turned into a indoor shooting gallery. Skulls.
Wait, what?
So he had-
Okay.
So he was a literal, like, rock star.
The dining room was a shooting gallery.
Yeah, he's
okay.
just trashing his mansion,
yeah.
fucking with ghosts.
coffin stood at one end of the dining room, which Byron had turned into an indoor shooting gallery. He had skulls of the monks who had been buried on the property.
So he exhumed them and took
Yep.
their skulls out. What is going on?
What is that?
I don't think that's from outside. There's a beeping noise in here. Lord Byron is furious with us.
He's like, stop talking shit.
It's not outside. It's like
for
on
sure
the
in
desk.
here.
I can hear it right now.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Either way. He also had a drinking mug made from those monkish skulls, and he would, just toss back a few brews in those skulls.
There's
Wow.
nothing cooler than drinking from a head.
No, not if you didn't kill it. Like if you're just some guy.
Fine, Rob.
Like I briefly touched on earlier, dude was an absolute hornball.
Yeah, I think we've
How many
established
of these
that.
skulls did he have sex with also?
It's like, what?
Countless.
He's like, he also, the fresher monk bodies he exhumed and did stuff too. That was pretty tight.
Yeah. No, I mean, nothing tighter than rigor mortis bod.
Potentially.
Yeah,
A rigor
I mean-
mortis beehole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, just mad. I don't know if the beeholes clench, but the joints are. What is happening?
It's a phone.
Someone's phone. Oh, it's the alarm. Okay.
That's bizarre.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. I can't wait till a SWAT team breaks in and
Yeah.
takes us out.
Lord Byron swatting us from the grave.
Dude, fuck.
He would.
Now he's going to have sex with our dead bodies like we're monks.
Yeah.
He was a rampant bisexual and thought men were clever, but women kiss better. That was his words. not
That's
mine.
fair.
Yeah, I buy that.
Yeah. Tracks.
Yeah, he would have sex with his sister, sex with a mister. Single or married, Lord Byron would fist her.
Did you write that?
I did. He would ravish a lady. He would bang out a duke. There wasn't a hole that he wouldn't fook. He collected
Look
docket.
at our own Lord Byron here.
Yeah.
And by that I mean Dan. I've seen Dan kissing guys.
Yes. He collected dockets from all the rockets. Pubic hair lockets he'd keep in his front pockets. A memento of conquest, fueled by big breast. A body's a body. His dick will get no rest. There was no code. His oats must be sowed. Guy, gal, it didn't matter. Byron was dropping big loads.
You changed up the rhyme scheme at the end there, and I actually appreciate it because it threw me off at the end there, and that was good. How much weed did you smoke when you wrote that?
None. I wrote that this morning.
Just for funsies?
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Just as an homage to
Yeah.
Byron.
And you
One
notice
poet to another.
You notice the beeping stopped after he read his poem toward him, his homage. He's like, Byron's like, yeah, okay, that's tight.
Yeah.
We're fine with it.
Yeah. He's like, proceed.
I don't think that Byron was bisexual.
What do you think he was?
Okay. Horny?
Yeah.
What is that but bisexual?
I would call that more pansexual than bisexual.
Okay.
Whereas because bisexual, there's no like doesn't seem like he was attracted to men and women. It seemed like he was attracted to fucking.
Okay. Well, when I said sister, that was not for dramatic effect. Sure, Georgie was going from lady to lords, breaking hearts and racking up names on his conquest list, but he would not keep his hands off his half-sister, Augusta.
And again, this goes back to what we've talked about before with other stuff where it's like at some point you have nothing left to conquer.
Your pleasure centers burn out.
Yeah.
When you're a hedonist, like we've talked about this on Substock before, like with Connor. And it's like the people that follow like a very hedonistic lifestyle, you hit a wall.
Right.
You're not feeling shit anymore.
Yeah.
Like you got to either tame it back or you got to start violating some shit.
Right.
Like violating some real serious social mores. Like, and yeah, half
That's
sister
how
checks
95% of all couples swing.
95 is Dan's
Yeah, I know.
number.
I've been on this block for fucking, I
Dan
don't know,
thinks
6 years
95.
now.
Do you swing?
Swing.
No. But eventually, I said like people in their 40s.
Oh, okay.
Like it gets,
We'll see.
everyone just gets numb.
Yeah, well, we got some time before we got to test that hypothesis.
It's like an older middle-age thing.
I bet you it's a lot of younger people too, especially now.
That's true.
Yeah.
No, we talked about this on the podcast this morning, how everyone has more fluid sexualities, but no one has sex. Like in like Gen Z.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, my sexuality is fluid, but they're not actually doing anything.
Well, I think a lot of people do a lot of stuff for attention too. And I'm not saying that people that have a very fluid sexual preference are doing it for attention, but I think a lot of them are.
Yes.
Yeah, I think like it's like
It's like the same in previous generations where like I'm an anarchist or like I'm emo or I'm like goth or artsy or
dude.
whatever.
The thing that actually turned me off of TikTok was the people that talked about mental health issues.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, this is like people that were very like obviously the autism spectrum is very wide and everyone falls on it. That's how the spectrum works, but. Like it's like, oh, these are my stems and stuff like that. And it's like I think you're just doing this for clout on social media, and 100%. It's like you're totally you're throwing in the trash people that actually struggle with things. Yeah, but
it's especially probably alluring for like little like white kids that are like, I don't have anything that I can immediately complain about,
or I have nothing to make myself unique.
Yeah, what better than to monetize somebody else's struggles?
Yeah,
it's the only way I know.
Pretty profitable.
Sure is. So
it's
this news of him and his sister was, kind of widespread. So much so that tabloid news of its time pretty much kept you a daily update with this. Her daughter, Medora, was suspected to be his.
Of course.
With fears of the government and society as a whole coming after him for incest, along with a laundry list of homosexual experiences.
It was super illegal to be gay in the UK in like 1950.
Yeah, so imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
George decided it was best to settle down to give the appearance that the life was behind him.
Yeah. Kick the old club foot up and call it a day.
He married Annabella Milbank in 1815.
What a way to get out of a crime. Is he a murderer? Well, he just got married. I don't think so.
Yeah, no married guy would murder anyone or be gay.
Yeah. It's the same thing. It's like, well, he got married, so he probably didn't fuck those like 20 other people, including his sister. Guys and girls combined.
Yeah,
everything.
I mean, it's the fucking Departed quote. Alec Baldwin talking to Matt Damon or whatever. He's like, yeah, you gonna settle down with her? You gotta, you can be a son of a bitch or whatever, but if you have a wife, it means someone likes you or something like that. I don't know the exact quote.
Someone can put up with you or something.
Yeah, it's some shit like that, but it holds true. Like, people definitely do look at it in a certain light.
So they have a daughter together, but the charade doesn't last. as he kept boinking his sister and several other side pieces, and the couple divorced a year later, claiming he was insane. And that was a year with a child. So
yeah.
Most of the time was just pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
He knocked her up, then was like, all right, did it. See you
Well,
later.
yeah.
Gotta bang my sis.
Did what I need to do.
Interesting enough, Ada Lovelace, his daughter, is often regarded as a foundational figure in the field of computer programming, based on her notes for Charles Babbage's analytic engine. She's essentially credited with helping build the first computer.
Yeah, she did like the plates or whatever.
Yeah.
She did like it's an actual like mechanical computer. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of looks like an abacus.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the scandal of the divorce and incest getting hotter and hotter, Georgie Boy had to leave England in 1816, never to return to his home country alive. Despite his wishes, they shipped him back to England to bury him when he dies.
Oh, he didn't want to go back.
He didn't want to go back. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I ain't never going back.
But when he's alive, he never goes back to England. He ends up in Switzerland for a brief period where he has a thing with the Frankenstein writer Mary Shelley.
Nice. Covered in ticks, I assume.
Probably.
Was that the thing? She had Lyme disease or something?
No. I was telling Rob off air that Switzerland's beautiful, but they have like a big tick problem.
Really?
Yeah. Because you're just gallivanting in those fields and
Yeah, it's beautiful grass.
Apparently, the ticks have no natural predators over there.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can't see what.
Just saying, you got to airdrop some possums in there. Just start putting possum in the forest.
Switzerland fucking. I just see like the board of tourism just be like, why would you do this?
It's not a beautiful animal, but it's better than getting Lyme disease.
I'm just thinking of a possum coming in with like a little parachute, taking it and then just going to town.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. 100%.
Possums, actually, if you ever see them, don't kill them. Just call animal control.
They're nice animals.
They're actually really good for. They don't get like rabies or anything like that.
And they eat ticks
Yeah.
and scorpions.
They are fucking terrifying though when you see them at night.
They look terrifying. They look like I said, they look like princess bride rats.
They are
Yeah.
the real heroes.
But they kill all the shit you hate.
Silent O's.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
During his summer with the Shelleys at Lake Geneva in 1816.
So this is actually before she wrote it. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know how long it took her to write it, but it came out in like 1822 or 1824.
Right, I'm about to tell you why.
Okay.
Byron suggested the group spend a rainy afternoon writing ghost stories. So Shelley wrote what would become Frankenstein.
Ooh.
And Byron.
This guy's weird penis inspired Frankenstein.
It's like 4 other penises welded together.
Correct. And he also wrote something that would later be kind of converted or interpreted as the original like vampire story that was read all over Europe and based on Byron himself. So he is a lot of people regard him as like the inspiration for Dracula. Like he wrote it, but it's also based off him.
Okay.
So wait, he wrote it or Bram Stoker?
Bram Stoker based the character of Dracula on his boss. Because he was like a secretary or something for some piece of shit guy. But they also don't think he invented vampire lore.
Interesting. Okay.
Right, they're saying he invented vampire lore, which was at the time only kind of passed around with
It's like a spooky story.
Right.
Fable.
that like low level peasants would put
sure.
out, but like the higher society didn't know anything about it. Yeah,
There's a man out there.
Because peasants were stupid.
Peasants are dumb.
Yeah. It's like, don't leave the house at night.
Learn
basically.
to read, idiot. I'm not going to teach you how, but just learn,
Yeah.
idiot.
Access a book.
Yeah.
so he had his little fling with the Shelleys. Eventually got bored
Do you think he inspired Frankenstein with his weird foot?
with the club foot. You
Yeah.
gotta think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
He's like, you're a monster.
He was exhuming a monk in front of her one day and tried to fit its foot onto him, and she was like, "Oh, light bulb."
Decent chance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
actually,
that's-
he was like, it would be fun. I'd go dig up
You never drank out of a skull?
not that I'm aware of. But I don't know. I don't know what everything I've ever drank out of is made of. So,
In New Orleans, you might have done it.
yeah.
One night
It's like a
blackout.
12% chance.
Yeah, it's not high, but it's there.
So he goes to Italy, has numerous flings, and tries to rewrite the Bible.
Well,
I'm listening.
He's just like, I think there needs to be more interesting stories.
that's fair. There's not a lot of like weird stuff that happens in the Bible. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Very A to B.
Yeah.
He said he wasn't like a fan of Cain and Abel.
Oh, already.
Wow.
Off the bat. Chapter 2.
So he got like, what, 50 pages in? Was
Yeah.
like, man, nah.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's the inspiration for Seth.
Is that the other one?
Yeah, the other brother.
Yeah.
Seth.
People don't talk about him because he didn't do anything.
He didn't kill his other brother?
If you're not getting killed or murdered,
And his name's Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he wrote Revelations because that's the most interesting part of the Bible in my mind.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. A lot of people don't buy it as canon. I can see why because
Yeah.
it's insane.
This is one of his failed experiments. A lot of people don't really respond well to it, so he just kind of
Rewriting the Bible in
Yeah.
the early 19th century. It's fucking wild that people wouldn't be into that.
It's like, hey, man.
So he just had more sex, drank more wine, got involved with the countess.
Tried to be Jesus. No one bought it, so he then just kept fucking and any hole he could find.
Yeah, that's how cults work.
Yeah. Was bored again. Heard about Greece trying to break away from the Ottoman rule and decided, you know what? I had a really good time in Greece. You know, it holds a special place in my heart. What if I fund the independence movement?
With what? Well, I guess he's a celebrity at this point.
Yeah,
so
he's got some money now. Even though, you know, he dug himself into a financial hole initially, but yeah, now at this point he's
Takes it to make it.
So this is a funny thing I always think about when it comes up on other podcasts on this network where Holloway or Ross or other people will be like, you know, the way or like even Jack Mandeville talks about this, will be like the way the Greek city-states used to work is they were like independent, and then when they needed to fight a common enemy, they would come together and fight them off. And like, yeah, they did do that to the Persians like twice, but mostly they fought each other and then were conquered by the Romans and then didn't rule themselves again for like 1,500 years.
Yeah.
So it really didn't work.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It was really a failed state.
The fact that their independence movement worked, because we'll get into that in a little bit,
Yeah.
is kind of incredible too, because they were a bunch of fractions that were broken up and just trying to like.
That was a fucking nightmare.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Like it was just a bunch of like kind of groups, I guess, like in the Middle East now.
We just literally like Greece, of all the places in human history that gets over jerked off, Greece is number one.
Because the democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really,
And it's like, hey, do you remember how they started that? Hey, let's all go shout in a room.
yeah.
And the loudest guy,
Yeah.
him.
Due to what many believe was Byron losing his mind from multiple sexually transmitted diseases.
Of which there was no treatment. So he probably had syphilis, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure.
he had that scarred up brain.
They said he had like syphilis, gonorrhea, and like just things that probably don't even exist anymore.
Because here's the thing. He wasn't just going around like fucking noble women and like noble men and stuff like that.
No, he was fucking like Turkish slave boys.
Yeah. Like any fucking thing. Anything.
He was not only royalty, but also, slaves. He was fucking a lot of slaves.
Yeah. So kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because anytime you fuck a slave, it's pretty rapey.
A boy slave, too.
Yeah.
Child slave.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Child slave.
No.
We're on
Not
agreement.
ideal.
We don't agree with this.
We are out on fucking child slaves.
And if anyone didn't know my opinion before, I am against having sexual intercourse with a child slave.
Independent children are jury's out for you, I guess.
Oh, God. For any child, but especially slaves that are children.
Just take a harder stance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just got to go firm.
Let's
man.
just one up each other on stances.
Let's do it.
Yeah. What do you mean by slave?
So, a poet with no military experience in his life decided, let's raise an army and let's get back in independent Greece. Byron savored being kind of this faux military general, though. He constructed 2 small stone forts on the edge of his lake, and he would launch a fleet of toy ships, which he spent entire days directing while hidden in the fort. He even got his servant to sit still in a small boat in the lake and command the ships, involving pushing them around and making cannon and whistle noises with his
So, some servant was sitting on a rowboat, and he was like, pew, pew, pew.
Oh!
Good show, sir. Good show.
Fucking Batman shit.
Yeah.
It's just Alfred in the middle of the lake. Like, would you like to test the rope?
Yeah.
The bat rope. I don't know. Fuck, whatever.
He just went
yeah.
full Bane.
I'm born in the darkness.
You think I was born in the rowboat?
What accent was that? Mr. Peanut?
What accent is most of the things that Tom Hardy does?
Not the one he should be doing.
Never.
Yeah.
It's never the right one. He's still a great actor somehow. I don't know how he pulls it off. So yeah, he leaves the countess that he's currently with in Italy, cold and dry, who herself left her previous husband for George. So, kind of, taste of her own medicine.
Yeah, she really had it coming.
Probably could have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah. So he goes to Greece on a ship aptly named the Hercules. It's a little too on the nose, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, he probably felt like Hercules after winning all those naval battles on his pond or whatever the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, seriously. Nothing
I feel like me, getting on my phone, or it's over there, and playing Total War. I've roamed Total War on my phone, and just winning some battles on that, and then being like, I'm ready.
That's like going to play putt-putt and then going to compete in the PGA Tour.
Right.
It's like I sink a couple good ones.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah, this is...
We're good to
That's all
go.
it is.
We're good to go.
Ball in hole. Got it.
So what I said earlier, when he got to Greece, these independent freedom fighting factions were all over the map. One of the factions were the Soluites,
Whatever.
who he got in bed with.
Literally?
Not the group. Yeah, probably both. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Figuratively
can't use a
and
fucking
literally.
Euphemism like
euphemism
that.
like that, yeah, without clarifying on this one.
Yeah. Did he just fuck the whole fleet or was he...
He just shows up and he's like, everyone bend over. Lord Byron is here, or I'll bend over and you can do. I don't care.
They kind of
But
fuck him.
We're all gonna fuck.
I think
Me, you. I don't
But
care.
they figuratively fucked him.
they fucked him. Yeah, they demanded a bribe of 6,000 sterling pounds to fight, because they said the local Greek government owed them that. So in order for them to actually go out and fight for their freedom, they needed to get paid.
What?
What a weird motivator.
Right.
I would love to fight for my own freedom, but I'm going to need about $6,000.
Yeah.
That's the cost of your
Yeah.
freedom. Okay.
He paid their fighting tax and planned an attack on an Ottoman fortress. And the Ottoman faction at said fortress agreed to actually put down their weapons and virtually give no resistance if he could throw a few sterling pounds their way.
Oh,
But he wanted to fight, didn't he? He
I
wanted
practiced in my rowboat this whole time,
Yeah.
and you're just laying down your weapons for cash?
He didn't want to buy it.
No, of course not.
No, he did. But before he was able to work out a deal with the Ottoman commander, or with the Ottoman fortress, a commander for the Ottoman Empire got word of the deal and executed all of the culprits at the fortress.
Ooh.
So he killed everybody for Byron?
And replaced them, yeah.
Oh, replace them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that shitty Greek faction that he paid $6,000 to, or 6,000 sterling pounds, kept extorting George for more coin. They even kidnapped him at one point.
That's awesome.
It feels like he was kidnapped the whole time, and they just made it official at one point.
It's like, oh, and you're kidnapped now, so more
Yeah.
money?
Until he pays. Eventually, he gets everything situated. He refits, the whole group. He funds their fleet, and he's finally ready to invade a Turkish fort. But he was incredibly ill, and
What was it? All the STDs?
a lot of the STDs. Probably not living the healthiest lifestyle. Obviously, he was drinking he had his diets of white wine and biscuits and. All the crazy
What's the
fat
problem?
diets he was doing.
Yeah, I don't know. What's the problem
That
with
doesn't sound like a fat diet. That just sounds like,
Fun.
eating.
It sounds like
Sounds
Westlake
like life.
moms
Yeah.
on weekdays.
Too many carbs, the biscuits.
Yeah, true. They'd be gluten-free. I don't know.
It's white wine and celery.
Yeah, white wine, celery.
Yeah.
So
Look, the goal is to die only needing one pallbearer.
Woo! It's just the pizza guy she was banging on the rack?
Yes, 100%.
Nice.
So he goes to visit the doctor, and they did the old blood drain from his body until the sickness leaves, aka bloodletting.
That's how it gets out.
Yeah.
Now, I don't believe in bloodletting, but I do believe that when I have diarrhea, I'm getting better.
You're getting it out of you.
Do you bleed when you have diarrhea? Because I do sometimes.
Well, you have Crohn's.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a.
That's just your butt period.
a
Dan.
rickety asshole. So yeah, I also do bleed for sure.
Okay.
That's how I know it's working. It's
Do you
'cause
wipe too hard?
I wipe too hard. I care too much when I wipe. Is what I would say, I guess.
Okay.
What? Yeah, just let some brown stay. No big deal.
No, I care too much.
You mean
Get it all out, and then I keep going, and then I bleed. That's how much I care.
you wipe till it bleeds just to know you're good?
Yeah, I care too much.
So
Nice.
unfortunately, this causes him to die on April 19th, 1824, before he ever gets to fight in his Greek war.
Whoa, what? Taking all his blood out of him? Killed him?
It's crazy.
Well, they got all the bad blood out. It was just all bad blood. There was no good blood.
Keep
I
it
wonder-
going.
Hey, come on, get the. Well,
Still feel like shit. I'm feeling worse.
Did we
I'm
get-
feeling worse. More blood.
Yeah, did we get all the bad blood out? Well, let's just take a little more out to be safe. Just a little bit extra.
Yeah, and that causes him to die. However,
Yeah, having no blood killed him.
he sold one of his estates in England before this.
Oh, thank God.
That money went to the Greek freedom fighters, and eventually, Greece got their independence from the Ottoman Empire.
And now they're the incredible country we see today.
Yeah,
That the EU
part
just wants to get rid
to
of
Lord Byron.
constantly.
Yeah.
So shouts to Lord Byron for the Greek independence, for financially at least backing them.
How much did his shit actually help?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Enough that he has a statue in Greece.
Also, the constantly asking for money for their own independence thing kind of checks out throughout modern history.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just need, I can't do a Greek accent, so I'll just do Italian. We just need the 5 a billion more. That will be okay. Oh, did I say 5 and 6? Oh, so 5 and 6 is the same.
Is there much of a difference between
ATMs
Greece
do.
and Italy right now?
No. It's only the accent's the only difference.
It's the accent, but
Same amount of hair,
the
same
work
olive
ethic's the
skin.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these people are technically white, so none of this is racist.
More yogurt.
Yes.
more yogurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. More yogurt and chickpeas, for sure.
Yes. Less tomatoes.
More marinara in Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a feta people, not a mozzarella people.
Exactly. They like a little tang with their wet cheese.
I prefer feta to mozzarella.
Depends on what you're making.
Depends on what you're making. It does. It does. So I'm upset that I only heard about like one famous like dude he was banging, because I feel like this guy could have fucked. I feel like this guy could have fucked Napoleon. Like I feel like he could have showed up and been like, "Hey, wrote you a poem. What's up?" And Napoleon would have been like, "Waterloo is," but then like read the poem and like,
Whoa.
"Leave us alone in this carriage. Give me 10 minutes with this man."
I never said he didn't fuck Napoleon.
That's true. No one said he didn't.
And no one said he couldn't bring a bear.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't really a rule follower.
He wasn't.
Yeah. He's a trailblazer.
Well,
He's blazing some tail.
yeah.
He's a tailblazer.
Tailblazer.
Yeah.
Ruined a lot of trails, I assume.
A lot of marriages, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marriage did not stop him from hooking up with anybody.
Did you guys ever have people in school that would take the R off their Chevy Trailblazer?
No.
Really? Tailblazer?
Gay. That's what?
It must be an Ocala thing.
Yeehaw.
Whee!
Cowtown.
Not sure I'm into that.
But yeah, that is Lord Byron. Obviously, you can look into his literary work, Don Juan, and, that stuff.
Or
Herald.
you can,
Harold, what was the other one? Harold, the one where he was banging the Albanian guy?
Child Harold's Pilgrimage.
Yeah, that one. That's the one I'm more interested in. That's just such a like boss move to like go to an authoritarian country, seduce. I mean, the man was obvious. It's not like he like. It's not like Lord Byron showed up and like seduced him into like being gay. This is obviously a gay man running the country.
Bisexual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or bisexual, whatever. And yeah, but it's still such a boss move to just show up and be like, "I'm fucking the boss."
That one, too.
Yeah.
bring me the boss.
Yeah. Bring me your king. That's who I'm banging.
I'm trying to get a free painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all the wenches and chicks and sisters.
He essentially treated bodies like a bottle of wine. He's just like, I'm going to try this.
I don't
try
put
that.
myself in a lot of bottles of wine.
But the way his selection.
The way he sampled them.
Yeah. He was just sampling.
He's trying
things.
a lot of varietals.
Yeah, he tried every fucking flavor on earth. It
Yeah.
sounds like. God damn. I'm impressed he didn't like take an American tour at some point. Just like put me on a boat, going up and down.
Oh, what? To go find those fucking Puritans?
I'm going
in Pennsylvania?
I'm going from Chile to Quebec.
Yeah.
Just fucking going bananas.
Yeah, that's fair.
We learn anything today? Or did we just hear about a dude who liked to fuck?
Rich people do whatever they want.
Yeah, even if it's wartime.
Yeah, no matter how much or little money they have.
You got to fake it till you make it.
Yeah, and even if you do have money, the rich aren't always liquid,
Right.
but as long as they have the kind of status, you're fine.
Yes, of course.
And it's been a tale as old as time. Coasting off your
Yeah, if you're rich, you can do whatever you want. If you, I mean, look, that is actually the real lesson here.
That is the tale as old as time.
Homosexuality, super duper illegal
at the
in
time.
England until like in the 50s or 60s, or I don't know when it became even not necessarily even legal, but not punishable. But it was illegal in like while our parents were alive, and but this guy was like very obviously banging both other men
and his sister
and boys
and his sister
and got away with all. Let's not actually act like Lord Byron's like Lord Byron, yeah, fucking bisexual hero. Like he was fucking boys and girls. Like he was fucking
He was
kids.
fucking children.
Yeah, he was fucking kids.
That
So
were
he's not a
slaves.
hero.
Yeah, no, there's nothing heroic
No,
about this man.
not some cool guy.
We did talk about this before the show too. Pretty much any musician in like the 70s, 80s, even the 60s, like, man, there's a lot of skeletons.
Well, that's what we were saying. We were talking about like, David Bowie. This is like a David Bowie-esque situation, which is weird to me that people still celebrate David Bowie because he was like giving cocaine to and having sex with
The same. They all
15-year-olds.
Yeah, they all had sex with that one.
and that chick
15-year-old.
was like, yeah, I fucked a bunch of rock stars.
We might have to do an episode on her.
Was it the Penny Lane type character?
Yeah. It was the same type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's an argument to be made for separating the art from the artist as well.
There for sure is.
Yeah, like Hitler was bad at both art and being a person,
Right.
so you can hate him all around.
Right.
But like if he was a bomb-ass painter, it'd be like, oh, it was pretty good. Like,
The only problem with that argument, or like if you want to like talk about people now or whatever, is that there's certain nobody's telling you to separate the art from the artist on like Bill Cosby.
I was just about to say Bill Cosby's a perfect example. It has to be exceptionally good to be like, you can
I don't think Bill Cosby's funny. There's a lot of comedians that are like, he is groundbreaking.
I mean, dude, I'll say this. I listened to Bill Cosby's Self when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It made me cry laughing. I was also 11.
Right.
You know, I also didn't know he was a rapist. I can't go back now and listen to it and be like,
Fuck Bill Cosby though, because he is piece of shit. Like there are people that will refuse to separate the art from the artist on people with like venial sins.
right, sure.
So Louis C.K.
Right.
Yeah. No, I mean, Louis C.K., I will say, before that all came out, much funnier than he, like...
Way funnier than Bill Cosby.
Well, Louis C.K. also, now, he kind of leans into it pretty
does.
hard, and
He
it's
does.
like, dude, we get it. Like, you're trying to...
They all do. Like Chappelle does too.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, Chappelle, you know, for whether you like him or not, like, God, the first 30 minutes of that special, I was like, okay, I like this. And then it was like,
Yeah.
all right, now I got to, like, sympathize with your problem that you're trying to lean into. And it's like, whatever. But, no, I mean, like Bowie, for instance, like that music, I think it really, we're using comedians a lot, too. And keep that in mind. Comedians, they're selling their entire personality a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder, I think, for people to separate the art from the artist when it comes to stand-up comics. But for
Than it does
music,
for musician,
because
yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. If like fucking Michael Jackson comes on, I'm not gonna be like, change it.
You're right.
Or like
Or
R. Kelly. Yeah. I mean, if a remix to Ignition comes on, I'm not gonna be like, turn it off. I'm offended. Like, no, it's
You
a
let
fucking
that
banger.
play.
Yeah, it's a banger, dude. Like, you don't. If anything, just let someone else make the song again. Who cares? But like, also, who's gonna remake? Who's gonna sound as good as R. Kelly doing remix to Ignition?
one.
Nobody.
Right. Also,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson in particular is no longer making money off of Michael Jackson songs. So
Yeah.
Just Beatles songs.
what do you want?
Right. God.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Family's cashing in right now. Blanket. Doing the damn thing.
But they're innocent. I don't know. They had probably a fucked up childhood. Let them get some money.
Yeah, I mean, God, he dangled that one blanket out of the window.
Should I end this with a poem? by-
Sure.
Well, hold on. We learn anything else? Oh, wait. We have a Hitler. We need to pick the Hitler.
Hitler of the week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Joel,
Joel
what'd you
learned
learn?
something.
Hop on over here.
Yeah, come here.
What?
Invented Halloween
Lord Byron invented Halloween.
because he came up with Frankenstein and Dracula.
Oh, he is the inspiration for Frankenstein and Dracula.
That's a
So
good
we
learning
Damn,
moment.
dude.
Yeah.
Connect the dots there.
Yeah. Thanks, Joel.
Wow.
I think all of it was syphilis fever dreams. So actually, really, syphilis invented Halloween.
Well, no, he had syphilis. The people writing about him, syphilis contorted his body in weird enough ways to inspire
Yeah.
the other things. Yeah.
I still credit syphilis.
Sure.
So this is one of his most famous poems.
Wait, we got to pick a Hitler.
It's him.
Lord Byron is the Hitler of the story. Yeah, he fucked a lot of kids. Lord Byron's the Hitler of the story. Fair enough.
Or his dad, I guess.
No. Well, his dad did kill himself.
And also
Probably
put him in
also.
a gigantic financial hole, like Hitler did with Germany.
What I would say is that putting your child in debt is less evil than fucking scores of children.
We don't know
that
if his dad might
didn't
have
do
too.
that.
Yeah. We
His
don't know.
dad probably also did do that. Dual Hitlers. We got two Hitlers.
We got a tie. We got a Hitler tie,
Hitler
guys.
tie. Yeah. We give
The Byrons.
we give half a mustache to each.
Which is like a quarter of a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Go to your poem.
Okay. She walks in beauty, like the night, of cloudless climes and starry skies. And all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspects and her eyes, thus mellowed to the tender light, which heaven to gaudy days denies.
You say meet in her aspects?
No.
That's meet in her aspects. MEET in her aspects.
In her aspect, yeah.
He said meat in her ass, dude. That's what I got from that.
Hell yeah.
That was a slip in. He slipped that meat in the ass there.
Do you think it's all just him trolling?
Dude, for sure.
He seems like a massive troll.
He
He trolled Greece to independence.
he played
honestly-
he played shooty boats in his pond outside and got
Yeah.
Greece independent from
And
it. Think about
honestly,
it.
if Lord Byron is the main reason Greece is independent, I'm not sure Greece should be independent.
You
That's
heard it
fair.
here first. Softcore history. We don't value independence for a
I
sovereign
don't
nation.
necessarily agree with Greek independence.
I don't either.
I don't actually agree with sovereignty, period.
One shade, the more, one ray
Jake
the
is
less.
open borders, but we all knew that.
Yeah, so, come on.
Had half impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven trees. Tress, I guess. TRESS was tress.
Tress.
Yeah. That's how you say it.
Yeah. Or softly lightens o'er her face. O'er her face?
Over. Yeah, over.
Or
Over.
like or
Over.
the land of the free. Over. It's just a easier way to say it.
Over
Or
the ramparts.
Serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. This poem sucks.
Why'd you pick it?
I don't know. This is what he's known for.
I like the meat in the ass part.
Look, nothing ages well. All right, art is of its time. That's why Shakespeare's kind of legendary, right? Because he did things with the plot and stuff like that that's like incredible that still resonates today. Most art is fucking useless 5 years after it's made.
Especially comedy.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
the art that is old, that is now still well regarded, is transcendent.
Right.
And that's why it's well regarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Even a good movie at the time is still like, okay, here the best recent example of this, and I don't want to be like shit on anything or like be annoying, but like Borat, 2006, Borat, brilliant, objectively brilliant in 2006.
yeah. Well, shit can get memed to death now too. That's
Right.
also another problem.
But it just doesn't age well, and not because of the comedy or anything, because it's like shitty jokes or whatever. But it just
yeah, and the thing about Borat too, it's not even really. It's what the character does for disarming. The funny things in Borat are not the character Borat
Right.
himself. It's what he disarms people enough to let out of their fucking mouths. Like
Right.
the South Carolina frat boy is like, I pay you $50. Put this tip of cheese in your dick. He's like, I'll do it right fucking
Yeah.
now. It's like, what the fuck? Like this
Yeah.
guy's just. He's got a camera in his face, and this guy's here, and he's
Right.
like a
Plus,
monster now.
What he wrote was basically just him writing about himself. Like Don Juan is
that's every writer though. That's every
it's
writer.
a fictional Spanish guy who is notorious for seducing women. Like
That's every writer. Almost every writer writes some version of themselves into their story every time. Even the wild one, even the craziest, biggest ones. Like you have to get into really high fantasy before it's like, oh, the writer isn't there. And even still,
I mean, I'm sure there's a George R. R. Martin floating around. He's probably like
or
in
a
that-
J.R.R. Tolkien.
well,
like,
he's Sam.
He's Sam. Yeah, he's totally.
yeah. All writers put themselves in their stories. That always happens. Usually, it's the main character. Sometimes it's an ancillary character.
Because all writers are narcissists.
Yes.
Yes.
We create worlds.
Yes.
And that's really what we learned today.
Yeah. And Byron was such a narcissist that he thought he deserved to be inside of anything he looked at,
Even a book.
especially a book, but especially a child.
Or a man or a sister.
Especially his sister. He fucking loved his sister.
Are you? I guess at least he was indiscriminate. Like, he was like predatory on everything. It's like
His love was blind.
it was like it's like an alien in the movie, like Aliens. You know what I mean? Like they'll kill anything.
Yeah.
They're not trying to kill anyone.
But especially his sister.
Yeah, but
They
especially
make note of that. It's just like, no, I mean, like, he kind of bounced around, got bored with everybody except his sister.
But we talked about that. It's because that's the one true taboo for him that he had left.
So, yeah, that's the story of Lord Byron. Go ahead, check it again. Go to softcorehistory.com, check out some merch. We've got the Shit Don't Change shirts, which is especially true with this episode. 2 Irish Should Die, Mike Malloy. We got the Softcore History hats. We got Topsy the Elephant shirts, of course, tanks. We've got that in long sleeves as well. Make sure to leave a 5-star review if you can. Really help out the podcast. Help us
Rate
come
and
up with
review.
charts. Yeah, rate, review. Subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again. And yeah, make sure to check us out at Softcore History on Instagram. That's our @. Jake. Had fun.
Me too.
For Jake Goldman, Rob Fox, I'm Dan Regester, and you just got soft served.